Question 14a asks students to explain how the principles of balance and stability can be applied to a sport to enhance performance. This was worth 5 marks. Some areas here, the question that students need to be concentrating on, obviously looking at the key term, explain. Principles of balance and stability can be applied to a sport to enhance performance. So the first thing I want students to be aware of here is that the question actually says, explain how the principles, so there's plural, there is more than one, of balance and stability. If we go to our dot point, here are the principles of balance and stability. Center of gravity, line of gravity, base of support. The question was worth 5 marks, which means I couldn't expect students to answer all 3 or include all 3 in their answer for 5 marks, but I did want students to at least have 2 of these principles in their answer. The question doesn't ask students to talk about balance and stability, but what it talks about or asks is to look at the principles of balance and stability, which is center of gravity, line of gravity, and base of support. And that's where the students started to struggle. We go back to the question again. So you need to look at, when you start to pick up things over the next 12 months or so, when you sit more exams, explain how the principles, so there's an S there, meaning that it's plural. So you needed to talk about more than one, and that was the first concern of balance and stability. But more importantly, you had to apply it to a sport of your own choice, and you had to come back in your answer and say how by applying these principles of balance and stability, so center of gravity, how is that going to enhance someone's performance? So we've seen the dot point, we know where it's from. We'll go and have a look at our sample answer now. Oh, sorry, the key term being explain, relate cause and effect, make the relationship between things evident, provide why and or how. So what's the relationship between the principles of balance and stability and someone enhancing their performance? First thing I'd like to show you about this answer is explain how the principles of balance, and the students have been able to write down center of gravity, line of gravity, and the third one being, which I can't even tell off the top of my head, is base of support. I don't know what that little thing but with base of support. And he's even got the word football written down here to show that that's the sport that he's going to be talking about. So even if he was to forget, he's got a little bit of a little overview of what he wants to concentrate in his answer, looking at this of football. So that's very well done. If we just go through this answer, it says balance and stability is comprised of 3 components, the first being the center of gravity. Straight away into his answer. And, if you can notice, highlighted, so it stands out. This is the point where the mass of an object is most concentrated. It can also be seen as a balance point. In humans, it is constantly changing as we sit, stand, jump, and run. The center of gravity enhances stability and balance in rugby league. So he's come back to the key word here, being enhance. Using words from the question to support his answer. Enhances stability and balance in rugby league. Balance is improved with the center of gravity is lower, and so a forward will lower the center of gravity to become more stable and try to increase the opponent's center of gravity to make them unbalanced. That's going to lead to an improved performance. Well done. The next component is the line of gravity, which is simply a vertical line drawn from the center of gravity to the ground. Balance and stability is improved when the line of gravity falls in the base of support. This is found in the sport of archery, where the athlete's feet are spread apart, improving balance, and also their line of gravity falls in their base of support, providing a more accurate shot. So you can see by the way in which his answer has been constructed, specific to the syllabus, specific to the question, how it enhances performance, nicely set out, looking at highlighting in 3 different areas. Remembering for 5 marks, 2 of the areas is all that was required. This student's been able to go through and at least do the 3. Lastly, the component of the base of support enhances performance. Using words from the question again. It is the area of the surface of the active force on the reactive force. When standing, it is the area created by the feet. An increase in the area results in greater stability. This is useful in rugby league when one is making a tackle. They will increase their base of support to become more stable and balanced during the collision, which obviously, as we mentioned here, will enhance their performance. That is why this is a very good answer. Probably a little bit too much highlighting, but all 3 areas of the syllabus have been included, even though only 2 were required. Examples to support and shown how it's going to lead to enhancement in performance. That's what the question was asking to do. So as I've gone through and mentioned, when we looked at the principles, students needed to include at least 2 principles because it was plural. Most were doing 1, which wasn't good enough. Students need to show how the principle enhances performance. So don't just tell me what centre of gravity is, but you need to say how is centre of gravity going to lead to an improvement in someone's performance. You also need to include a sport. So you're allowed to choose whichever sport you like and give examples, as always. But the main concern for me was that there was just minimal use of specific syllabus content. The problem that students fell into with this question was that they read this, explain how the principles of balance and stability, and students just wrote about balance and stability. There was no mention of the 3 areas from the syllabus, and that was the concern. They've seen balance and stability, and that's what they've gone and spoke about without paying any attention. Students who just mentioned these are probably getting a 1 or a 2. You needed to mention 2 of these to be even getting 4s or 5s, provided all areas were correct. So that was question 14A.